So I'm going to share a little bit story about myself and why, what has brought me to this place to share this kind of information with you, and be here standing in front of all of you, and what has driven me to take this time in 2012 to stand up here and speak my truth. So this angel here actually came to me when I was working with a client. I actually have had many experiences with people who have passed on and angels and things like that, but it was something I never shared, so I will tell you a little story about that. But this angel, particularly when I was working with this client of mine, which was a male client, every time I worked with him, I saw an angel. And I use a lot of discernment in what, the information that I'm receiving, because I've been shut down for so long all my life. And so I said to this man, I go, "Do you believe in angels?" And he goes, "Well, kind of. Well, maybe. But, he goes, I actually bought an angel painting many years ago." And he goes, "I had it in my house. I had a larger house." And he goes, "This painting is huge." And he goes, "I went to this art gallery, and this angel just kept looking at me." And he says, "I had to get it." So he said, "It's in the basement of a home down in Denver, and it's been there for 4 or 5 years." And I described the angel to him, and he says, "That is it." So this angel kept coming to me, and she wanted to be here tonight. So she's been a huge guiding light, because when I saw her, one of the things I love to teach is about our intuition and our wisdom that we have, and that everything's been interfering and telling us that we don't have that actually as we get older, we lose our memory, and we get decrepit, and we're not useful anymore. But really what happens is we emerge into this intuitive, wise human, this light being with inner knowing that is beyond our, a conception at this time. And so a lot of these things I'm going to be teaching you will open you up to more of your inner knowing, your intuition, your wisdom. And the main thing also that also takes us away from that wisdom is our innocence. In our innocence, we actually aren't disconnected and interfered with our inner knowing. As children, when we come out and start saying things and someone says to you, "Do not say that, that's not true, that's not your experience." So this takes me back to my life. When I was born, I had pneumonia and was in the incubator for 4 months of my first part of my life. My father died when I was 7, and after he died, I started having experiences with him. And I would say something about it to my family and things like that, but I was told, the poor girl, she's grieving. I didn't even know what grief was then. All I knew is I felt my father's love, and he was there with me. And then my mother remarried when I was 11 years old, and she married a man who raped me, sexually abused me, beat me for about every day of my life until I was 15, 16 years old. And through that time, though, what was wonderful, and that sounds really funny for me to say that, is I actually disconnected from my body. I was paralyzed during that time. I had pneumonia, I had strep, I had all kinds of things. I was always sick, but that was my way of disconnecting from my body and from this life to protect myself. If we are ill, it gives us a great reason to not do things, or it protects you from, if you don't want to be there with someone or something like that. So I had a great way of disconnecting, and I would join into another realm with my father. And I know that sounds really weird to some people. You wouldn't understand that if you haven't had an experience like that. But I'm standing here today because all my life, when I was raped, I went to my mother and said, "This happened to me." And what they said to me was, he said that I did something wrong, and I was making it up to make sure my mother, I was saying because I wanted him out of the house or something. And so I was told I was a liar. That was worse than the rape. you know? I was told that I wasn't telling the truth. So every time I spoke my truth, I was told, that didn't happen. That's not true. You know, when I experience angels that come to me, and when I experience someone come through from who's passed on, and I tell people about it, and they say, oh, that can't be. There's no way. Well, just because you haven't had that experience doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And this has a lot to do with perception, and I'm going to be talking a lot about that tonight, okay? So I wanted to share that specific thing to you because it wasn't until this last 2 or 3 years that I actually started being in my truth and sharing my experiences and not being afraid of what other people think. I'm happy with the person that I am. I love myself, and I'm really I can't give what I don't have within me, and I couldn't be standing up here right now if I didn't have that love so that I can share it with you, okay? So, let's move on to some more good stuff. All right, clear the fear and take an adventure into the unknown. Are you feeling nervous and anxious about all the uncertainty with the economy and everything that's happening on the planet? How many here have issues? You know, I mean, are you a little bit frightened by what's going on in the economy? Do you worry about, you know, what's going to happen? Yeah? You got some few people? Yeah. Are you worried about your health and how you can overcome illness and disease consciousness? I mean, we have a huge, I mean, the medical system that we have and, you know, all the stuff that's going on. Anybody fearful for their wellness and any of that? Questioning that? Do you worry about what might happen in 2012 and how you might prepare for this huge shift in human consciousness? Do you guys know there's a huge shift in human consciousness going on? Anybody feel it? Do you feel the difference in your lives lately? At all? Okay. Would you like to take an adventure into the unknown parts of yourself and discover the freedom that's already yours? We have it all within us. Finding what interferes, okay, with having those adventures is important to your freedom. Fear, that is, from the beginning of time, we've been instilled with fear. This is a diamond light code, and I'll be telling you a little bit about that here in just a second. So freedom is expansion. Taking the divine light through the doorways into the deepest part of your being to illuminate the darkness. So acts on the solar plexus nerve network to strengthen and build the will, promoting courage and personal power. And the woman who provided me with this, who I've trained with, her name is Julie Eplenby, and she has the Diamond Light World. And Julie, I went to visit her in England one year, and it was quite an incredible opportunity. I went there to learn about the Diamond Light Codes, and I'm actually going to be teaching a class on the Diamond Light Grid and all those kind of things. But I wanted to have an opportunity to share these Diamond Light Codes with you today. I will be giving out, I have 2 each. I have 3 Diamond Light Codes I'm going to be showing you, and I have some that I'll be giving to a few of you here for thanks for coming and all those good things. So what I'd like for you all to do is take a moment and make sure your feet are flat on the ground and uncross everything. And so I want you to really look at this Diamond Light Code. Just kind of just focus in on it, meditate on the code, asking to access the living consciousness that is represented and how that can support you in this moment. Let the image provide you with a focus point, and as your chattered mind quiets, you will find that you become the energy of the code itself. Feel it in your body, ask where it needs to go, and allow it to work for you. So Julie, she's a person who actually sees, when she has frequencies that are coming in from the cosmos and coming in from wherever they come from, that source energy, this is what she sees when she's receiving information. And so I'll be telling you about another woman with bioacoustics, Sherry Edwards, who hears the frequencies of plants and everything around and what's coming in from the cosmos, the energy of the planets and everything. It's really amazing. So this can be used to charge up your food or your water or any liquids by simply standing it on the code itself for a few moments. Give the intent that whatever you are about to take into your body be charged up with essence of the light represented by the code. So the code represents expansion, and as we said up here before, taking the divine light through the doorways into the deepest part of your being to illuminate the darkness. And it's on your solar plex nerve network to strengthen and build will, promoting courage and personal power. And so this is something that already is rejuvenating me to get started here after we're having a couple of difficulties that we had. The diamond light codes are symbols representing geometric structures of light. They awaken dormant aspects within the DNA, helping to align you with frequencies of energies streaming onto our planet. They hold and transmit vibrational frequencies that help to bring change to your world, as within, so without. So when I was in England and I flew in, before I flew there, I kept seeing eights. And I was thinking, do I fly on the 18th and return on the 28th? This was during the summer solstice. But I ended up having a different date. But when I got in that night, the first night I was there, I woke up the next morning and Julie came and got me. And they had heard of a crop circle, because I had always been talking about how I had my own idea of how crop circles were formed. And so they wouldn't tell where the crop circle was. They just said it was in Churton. And we got up and we just took a drive and we went to Churton. And we just kind of went into our own inner knowing, our own feeling. And we actually found the crop circle. It was amazing. I had never been to England, and here I was in an unknown place, but I was able to locate the crop circle. And let's see if I can get because you can see me in here. Let's see here. There we go. See this little person right there? That's me. They came flying over. There was only 2 people who discovered it, so they were there, and then the plane started coming over. And we were in the crop circle. This is Julie and Ann, who I was with. They're right there. But it was amazing to go online and kind of see what was going on there. So this was an exciting time for me. So this represents to me divine timing. When we were laying in the crop circle, one of my theories is they use frequencies, because we're going to see a little bit about how sound creates form, a geometric pattern. And my thought was always that gravity was used to bring down the crop, because they always say it's never stepped on or anything. But I thought the frequencies could actually use gravity and together and bring it down. So when I laid in the crop circle, I'm telling you guys, it was like it was pulling my whole body down into the ground. It was awesome. And then I also found a rock inside the crop circle that I picked up, and then one outside the crop circle, and the temperature difference was amazing. So the one inside the crop circle was really hot. It was very hot.